I
Hello,
almost
everyone.
accidentally hit the leave meeting button.
Oh no. Then we would have had to start this whole thing over.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. It's because it popped up and it wasn't whatever. This is a snowy week 2 weekly wrap up, guys. Hello.
Yeah. So, uh, what a roller coaster it has been this week, huh? Uh,
Yeah, and I'm sure by this point you are absolutely tired of the amount of notifications you've received from me
uh
on Google Classroom, including misinformation that was shared with us about
yeah,
power outages.
yeah, and like I most of the for the most part haven't been putting notifications in that class because you beat me to it every time.
Yeah.
But in my others, I've been sending notifications, and in the last one, the one last night, I went in and I was like, so I told you guys that I would be updating you if there were any changes. I didn't realize that those changes would be happening so soon.
Yeah. Are we closed? Are we not closed? We're open. Just kidding. We're closed. It
Yeah,
could be worse.
are there going to be rolling blackouts?
Yeah.
Psych. Nope, no
Just
rolling
kidding.
blackouts. That was wrong information. Like, what?
And I didn't update the post because I was like, I'm done. Like my advice was still good. Just warm up and charge your phone.
Yeah, but it's week 2, and it's been limbo because if I haven't been able to get in that good groove of just like normal daily routine, but we're going to get there. In the meantime, enjoy these snow days that you've been having and stay warm.
And
Uh,
then please stay careful with the ice that's just started. That's
yeah,
what Jason and I were just talking about. I'm in Jackson and it's just now starting to sleet. We already have ice on the roads. It's not good here
yeah,
with the amount of snow we receive. So I was like, sure, just add more ice. That's cool. I'll never leave my house.
yeah. I'm in Milan, and I haven't looked out there in a bit, but the the Milan City Police is really good about sending out notifications about everything. My phone is forever blowing up with some road closure or whatever. But they
What
sent
are
out
you
a thing that said,
doing?
"Hey, it says it has begun sleeting, so don't go out onto the main roads because they're getting slick again."
What is that? What does she have in the tree? Is it a mouse? Does she have one of her toy mice in the tree? Good God. I'm sorry. My cat, whose name is Trouble, decided we haven't taken our Christmas tree down because we were going to after we're one of those people that wait until the 12 days of Christmas.
Yep, same
Remember?
here.
So we were going to, but the weather was kind of weird. It was rainy. So
Yeah,
we just took all of my like Christmas blow molds, because that's who I am. And we left like the stuff that has like lights. So the Christmas tree is still technically up because
yeah,
that was a bigger thing to deal with at the time. It's a cardboard box that we put it in,
yeah.
so we didn't want to get wet. So needless to say, we have not taken our Christmas tree down. The cat does not bother the tree, but today she's gonna. So I apologize in advance. She
She's
threw one
like,
of her toy mice in like the underneath the skirt. And so
uh,
she's running around in the skirt, and it looks like something's going on. So y'all didn't ask for that.
she's like,
But
"Mom
that's
is distracted, so I'm going to cause trouble."
well, she's been running around, which is fine. But she threw it, yeeted it in the space where the skirt and the tree thing, like the gap,
Yeah.
and then she decides she wants to get under it. And I'm like, you're gonna knock the tree over, and then I'm gonna be very mad. Anyway, so
Well,
this is week 2.
yes.
We're all slowly getting cabin fever.
Yeah. Apparently, even the cats.
No, the
Uh,
cat is just doing her namesake. She is trouble, therefore she must do
yeah.
trouble.
So you don't have a whole lot that you're responsible for this week. There are the lecture materials that you received on Monday. Um, if you haven't hit those up, I'd suggest that you do. Looking at the the views on the videos from week one, which were like only in the I looked at them yesterday and they were only in the 20s, and there's like almost 70 of you. You guys got to get on that, right? Especially since next week we've got a quiz coming up, but I'll get to that in a moment. This week, there's just those materials. Watch them, read them, what have you. And there is still outstanding the contract for the creative projects. That's not due until Sunday night, January 28th.
The 28th.
Yeah.
And
so
a couple of you have hit us up asking us questions, and that's
yeah,
totally fine. Like, don't feel like you need to do the contract before you actually understand what you want to do. Like, you can ask us questions.
Yeah, definitely. And I've had some good questions, you know, things just like stuff that didn't occur to me to talk about in that video has been the questions thus far. I haven't been asked anything that was answered in the video, I don't think. It's been mostly things like, hey, this wasn't addressed. What would I do about this?
Yeah, I think I've gotten almost all of the technology surveys done, except there were a few of you who didn't. So you received a notice for me, hopefully in Google Classroom, where I left a comment saying, hey, I went ahead and reopened this. If you want to do it, just pay attention to that deadline and try and get it done. By the way, while we're talking about video viewing, if you come across a video that you click on and it's saying that it's not available, will you please send us a message? Last semester, Jason and I had an issue with YouTube and something with the encoding with Google Classroom, wherein our videos would not play in Google Classroom. But if you clicked on them and opened them in a new tab, you know, it took you to YouTube, they played just fine. So we don't care how you view them. We just want to make sure that you are able to view them. And I don't want to jinx it, but I haven't had an issue with the videos having that same issue that we had last time. But in case you guys run across it, don't feel like you're just going to sit there and suffer with this black screen that says unavailable.
Yeah,
because we actually want you to see it.
That actually happened last time. There were a few people when we were long past midterm, and there were a few people who were like, I feel like I'm struggling in this class because I can never get any of like whatever Professor McIntosh's videos to play or Professor Cole's videos to play. I'm like, you're just now telling us about that? Now, of course, at that point, we had addressed it in several places.
Yeah.
They should have seen it. But still, given that they had somehow missed every place where we had written that, the fact that you would be like that far into the semester and you're just like, well, I'm just going to deal with it. This won't play. Don't do that to yourselves. If anything's not working.
I'm sorry, Jason. I was going to say the issue seems to have just been when people are trying to use a PC or a laptop. It wasn't when people are trying to watch the videos using the Google Classroom app on their phone, their iPad, their tablet. It was something about like the browser version of Google Classroom had a coding problem that was not allowing the videos from YouTube to play. And it wasn't just my lectures, as we found out. Jason had issues with his lectures, my lectures, but then some of the supplemental videos that I was providing to students to kind of help clarify topics that were discussed, they weren't playing either. So it's something to do with the code with the browser, the Google Chrome browser version of Google Classroom.
Google messed their own stuff up somehow.
So the moral of the story is if you run across a video when you try and click on it in Google Classroom while you're on a PC or a laptop, and it's just like a black screen saying unavailable, you can right click on it and open it in a new tab and it will play it in YouTube, obviously, but let us know if you run into difficulty accessing the videos. There's been some issues with the subtitles, wherein both Cole and I had subtitles being available. Like, we want you to be able to have subtitles because sometimes you're in a place where you can't listen. That's fine. But they've done some weird things within YouTube where we have set up where those settings are what we want, but then sometimes YouTube will override that and not make the subtitles available. which
Yeah.
I don't know because it was built into the original video whenever we did it. So if you run into those issues, just let us know.
Uh, I guess on that subject as well, this is something that I saw happening last semester that I found a little weird. Um, understand that neither Professor McIntosh nor myself has time to type up the captions for everything that was said in a video and attach that to the video itself. We use YouTube's auto-generated ones. And those auto-generated ones, though they have gotten much better over the years, I have noticed, still struggle a little bit. Right? There'll still be times where you have two professors who talk a little bit fast when doing these things, and sometimes it kind of screws it up, and it will write weird things, right? So if you're ever reading something that doesn't make logistical sense to you, either see if it's matching up with what you actually hear or reach out to us. There were a few exams where students were writing stuff into their essays that I was like, what even is that? That doesn't even, like, I don't get what these words even are. And then I would go and check and notice that the closed captioning, the subtitles on the video had done some weird thing and had changed some words into some very, like, just absolute word salad. But a student went ahead and just wrote down that they, like, saw that weirdness and wrote it down verbatim. So yeah, it's be careful of that kind of thing as well.
It's really bad when we're talking about literature or like specific references to famous painters or famous, people that we've covered,
Yeah.
famous locations, because Jason and I do have dialects. We have accents, that
Yeah.
kind of are indicative of where we're from. But Gen AI and like generally is pretty bad. So for a good portion of one of my videos, it just keeps talking about this guy named Anus,
Yeah.
which made it a little funny because it was talking about, sometimes you just got Anus having difficult times, running around, he's upset, which is hilarious.
Mhm.
But also, that's not what I said. I said Aeneas, so it just heard anus because I guess
Yeah.
I wasn't as southern as I could be. I don't know. Just go with it, guys. Also, you can if you run into a video that doesn't have the captions playing, again, we are aware. We made a very conscientious effort to be as accessible as possible, but YouTube keeps doing things within its platform that like try and limit people using certain types of like external apps,
Yeah.
where they kind of force you, for lack of a better term, like maliciously to use their products, which means that if you were using a previous product that was once accepted as an option but has now been considered like not allowed, they make it difficult. So you can always take a YouTube video and you can run it through some external platforms that will create a transcript. We do it frequently within Zoom videos, where we're trying to like pay attention to something for professional development and there's too many people doing too many things.
Yeah.
And you can run them through external websites to create a transcript of it. One handy dandy feature, which is weird because this is a Google product, YouTube, but also what I'm about to say, you can have a video playing and have a Google Doc open and turn on the mic, and it will create a transcript of everything that was said in a Google Doc. So just putting that out there. You just open up a Google Doc, have it set up to where it's doing the talk to text, and then have the video playing in the background. You may have to say use computer audio, but yeah, it'll create a transcript of a video that you're watching in case you can't get the captions to play, or be accessible within the YouTube videos that we created.
Yep. So then next week, week 3, you'll be receiving materials from Professor McIntosh only. rather than the craziness that you just got when you did this week when you got stuff from both of us. I was looking at all of that, dude. I'm sorry, but it was the way it had to be.
We did this. I know you guys don't like it. We did it so that way you wouldn't have quite so much the first week. And then we
Yeah.
also did it so you could have like an actual spring break. So you wouldn't have to sit here and do like a quiz and a whole bunch of materials. We wanted you to have like a spring break, even though you're not in a traditional class. So
Yeah.
like the next couple of weeks, it's going to be quiz 1, quiz 2,
Yeah.
quiz 3, and then an exam. And we know
Yeah.
that's horrible. And we're sorry, sort of,
Yeah.
with our course design there, but I swear we did it so that way you would have a softer like move into this material and then also a nice spring break.
Yeah. And it surreptitiously worked out that you didn't have like a quiz on your snow week off that you got. But you'll get next week materials from Professor McIntosh only, not from both of us. But next week, as was just alluded to by Professor McIntosh, you'll have quiz 1. Quiz 1 will cover all of the material you have gotten in the first 3 weeks of class, including what you'll get from Professor McIntosh next week on Monday morning.
Yes. So you'll be responsible for this first quiz for all of the content material that was given to you from weeks 1, weeks 2, and week 3. So you want to make sure. A lot of students are freaking out, like, how do I study for that? Well, watch the videos. You obviously it's an open book quiz, so you can have our lecture PDFs open. I would just like to reinforce for those of you who've never had the displeasure of unfortunate circumstances to take a class with me, I don't see the point in making things more difficult than they need to be. So I will frequently have it where I just copy information from my slides as the beginnings of a question for a quiz. And I also will make note in my videos like hint, hint, nudge, nudge, this might be a quiz question, because why make it harder than it should?
Yeah. But yeah, as we've mentioned in the course review video, quizzes are 10 questions, multiple choice. They add 1 point per question, so they add up to 10 points. It will open for you on Thursday. I got to remember the date, the 24th. That, by the way, is my birthday. So you will your quiz will open on my birthday at noon, right? I'm getting myself all mixed up. At noon.
They open up at noon on Thursdays.
Is that
And
yeah, if you tap it, nothing happens.
Why is this upside down? I'm sorry. I'm
You're
eating.
fine.
Sorry.
So getting myself back on track, because I got myself all sort of, I'm telling you, man, with all of this craziness of the weather and whatnot, nothing feels right yet. It still feels like limbo. So noon on January 24th, as in lunchtime, the middle of the day, the quiz will open for you, and it will close on Sunday night, January 28th at 11 p.m. That's 11 o'clock at night, right? You can take the quiz at any point during that, 4-ish days. Right? You don't have to wait until the last minute. Many people do, and that often causes problems for them. But at 11 p.m. on that Sunday night, the quiz closes and it refuses to accept any more submissions. So you want to have it submitted before that 11 o'clock deadline, lest you find yourself in a position where you were actually putting in answers still when the 11 o'clock deadline came, and then you couldn't submit that quiz. Now, as is mentioned in the syllabus, and I mentioned this as well in the video, there is sort of, everybody gets one mulligan, one gimme, where you screwed up and you didn't get it turned in on time. You get that one opportunity to make it up, but it's just the one. So I wouldn't waste it on the very first quiz, if you know what I mean. That might come in more handy later on down the road when you really have an oh shit moment and you've completely forgotten that there was a quiz. Yeah, and I guess we can get more into depth about like if there are technical problems or whatever. We could talk about that like in next week's wrap up.
There's quite a few teams that are traveling, by the way, which
Yeah.
we've been receiving the notices for while we're also waiting with bated breath to see if campus is closed. So, I don't know why I feel the need to do this, but I'm just going to go ahead. If you find yourself traveling with an athletics team or a Renaissance team, and you're put in a position where you're completely unable to get that deadline met, because it happens. Sometimes you guys are on the road and you're supposed to have access to internet, but all of you are fighting for your lives for the bandwidth on the bus. So you need to make sure that you know that you need to communicate that with us before the deadline passes, because we can make arrangements with you before. If we don't hear from you after, that's not really following our policies, nor is it following the university policies, because it's pretty clear in most of the documentation that you receive from the university that it is the student's job to make arrangements with the instructors for like alternative assignment due dates. And I believe some of the verbiage says you need to make those arrangements before you travel. So for example, if you have a midterm and you know the midterm is on such and such day, it's like most of the stuff that I've seen in the student log says students are like expected to make arrangements with the instructor before they leave.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you have to take it before you leave. It means you need to make arrangements. So some of you guys are going to be traveling. You're going to be doing different stuff throughout the semester. I know with baseball in particular, this is very poignant. And I know I read a bunch of you are on the baseball team based on the technical surveys that I read, or the technological surveys. So it is your obligation to communicate with us what's going on with you. So if you're stuck on a bus, which happened once to the shooting team, and they were stranded on the side of the road in Texas because they had like a flat tire or something, you need to remember that you can put Jason's email address and my email address in a text message where you would normally put the person's phone number, and then just, in the body of the text message, tell us who you are and what's going on. I don't care if it's like 1 minute before the assignment's due. You just need to contact us beforehand, because we won't count that as a mulligan. That's kind of where I was actually trying to go here. If you're traveling for a university school sponsored activity, if you're traveling because a lot of you just had babies, either you did or your partner did, those little creatures are not following routine. That is the master of the parent adventure. So, and heck, we're in week 2 and we've had a snow week all week. Things are weird in these quote unprecedented times, end quote. And then you have life that's also unprecedented. If you run into some sort of issue that's going to negatively affect your ability to meet a deadline, then reach out to us. And we will make arrangements with you on how to make sure that you can make it up.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And we don't count that against you for this mulligan. The mulligan is we don't hear from you. Oh, okay. Then you just get the one free shot. If you didn't contact us and you're traveling for a school thing, well, guess what? You just burned your mulligan when you shouldn't have. Like you had an opportunity to contact us ahead of time. We could have made alternative arrangements. Now you have the mulligan. So the last thing on my rant, if you will allow me to pontificate further. Sunday nights at Bethel, the internet does not work good. The internet does not work well. Pick whichever one you want. Okay. It's not doing good work like Superman, and it's not working well either. So pick that. That means if you're waiting until 10 o'clock at night on Sunday to do the quiz, which should only take you 15 minutes. Or I should say that's the way we set it up, but technology makes it a little bit more problematic. Then I need you to hear me when I say you do that at your own peril. Imagine going to swim and there's a big red sign that says there are sharks in these waters. Swim at your own risk. That's what I'm communicating to you right now. When you wait until 10:30, 10 o'clock, heck, really from 7 forward on Sunday nights, the internet does not do well. It is slow like molasses. And it's
Yeah.
because all of you guys, most of your school stuff is over, like practice is over, you're done with your church services, you're home, you're doing things. And home, I mean dorm. So you guys are gaming, you're doing different stuff, the bandwidth slows to a crawl, fine. Well, don't expect to not run into issues then Sunday nights.
Yeah. Yeah, that is often a complaint that we get every now and then. And this is the other thing I want to make clear is that, again, you have any time within that window that the quiz is open to take the quiz. I get it if you don't feel prepared to take it right away at 11 a.m. I'm sorry, at noon rather, on that Thursday. Like you don't feel ready to take it right then. But you could if you wanted to, right? It is open then. We've had students, this has happened in the past, where something like, I'm sort of making up this scenario, but it's not unlike things that we've had, where somebody might say, hey, this is Sunday night and the deadline for the quiz is already passed. I went to a birthday party today and I thought I was going to be home in time to take the quiz, but then this family member decided we needed to go and I don't know, whatever, shoot fireworks and blah, blah, blah. And I went with that. I went to this place and then I did this and I'm only just now getting home. And when we have said, well, hey, you could have done this like anytime between Thursday and now, that student expressed surprise. Like, wait, you mean I could have done this on Saturday? Yes, you could have done it.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Like anytime in that, the due date is just the absolute end of the period of time that you can do it. Not
the due date is, I'm going to amend that, Jason. You need to have your work submitted before that time.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's not that you have until that time, because some students will click in at 10:58. Here's what I'll tell you, with the internet being as shoddy as it is, many students will sit here and just like do the quiz, fine, but then they hit submit at 11 o'clock. That is not smart. Because they get the spinning circle of death. All of you, when you hit submit, will receive a confirmation message on the browser saying that your quiz has been submitted. Many students will hit submit and then close their damn laptop. Well, that's cool, but it never submitted it because you didn't wait for it. It's not like we have good internet where you hit the thing and your YouTube video immediately loads. Yeah. No, there's backlog. It's almost like we're in the 1990s and this is dial-up internet on the campus, where it is a slow crawl. There are times where Jason and I can be downloading stuff, whatever, uploading videos, and it can take 30 minutes before the video gets uploaded on certain times of the day, like Tuesdays at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, you can't imagine what would be happening on Tuesdays at 11 o'clock in our building that would have lots of people eating up the bandwidth rather than paying attention to a certain thing that might be happening at that time.
Where there's all these phones that are automatically, connecting to the wireless, and we can't print off things that are connected to the LAN. So the moral of the story is, if you have not hit submit while on campus at like 10:55 and received a confirmation message, expect to have the spinning circle of delay, panic, and death.
Oh, I think that may be all that we need to talk about.
Yep, you're going to deal with Shakespeare next week. My power just like flickered. That's great.
Oh, fun.
I know, I'm so excited. And I'm making gumbo tonight, and I'm like, well, that'll make it easy for me to deal with the crawfish, I'm sure. Because I can just let it sit out and get room temperature, I
Yeah.
guess.
Just
It'll be fine.
yeah. I was gonna say you got like you could flash freeze it outside if need be.
Well, I mean, if we don't have power for a while, I don't have to worry about
I
food
know.
safety.
Yeah.
We'll be fine with our
Oh.
seafood. Because I have shrimp and crawfish that I'm putting in my gumbo. So the moral of the story is, guys, what a fun time to be alive and anxious.
Yeah.
Don't make yourself more anxious. All right. Sorry that we're making you extra anxious by this whole rant. You need to make sure that if you haven't already, you looked at the materials at least from quizzes one, or excuse me, from week 1 and 2. By the way, if you didn't know already, which I feel like I'm talking down to all of you because you've all been dealing with technology and education in this unprecedented time, you can speed up the videos where they can go faster.
Yeah.
If you're in a bit of a crunch, you can speed up the videos on YouTube to make them go faster.
On that same note, you can also slow them down.
Yep.
I have been told by students that my videos sound way too weird when they slow them down. But there's no middle ground. There have been students who say, I need you to talk faster because I've already written down the notes and everything, and you're still trying to get things across. And other students who have said, I need you to slow down because I'm struggling to understand you. It is what it is, guys. We do what we can. But I've had students say, you sound like you're just absolutely drunk when we slow you down.
And the weird thing is neither one of us were under substances when we made these videos.
But apparently when you slow them down, I'm sort of like, so you guys are awesome. And let's talk about some. You guys want to talk about art? Let's talk about art. Yeah. Apparently that's how I sound when they slow the videos down.
I don't think I've had a student tell me what I sound like. I'm gonna have to go play with it. I wonder how slow I have to go to where I
it
sound
was
like
in
I'm
a couple
talking.
of when the last time that I had to do student evaluations, there were a couple of students who said, it was like, how could the professor improve this course?
Yeah.
And it was like he could talk slower during his lectures because he talks so fast, and when you slow it down, he sounds weird.
I wonder, if I have to get slowed down quite a bit to where I start sounding weird, because I know I talk super fast already. So I'm gonna have to play with that, I think.
I'll just for the fun of it, let me pull one up real quick. Like if I grab one from week 1, pause it, put on the screen share.
Are you doing one of you or one of me?
One of me.
Oh, okay.
I haven't done this in a long time. All right, screen share. And then is that going to also share my audio? I'm not sure.
We'll find out.
Right. Let's put it up to some actual talking, and then let's slow it down. That's the subtitles. What am I doing? To let's say 0.5. Nope, that's not even me talking here.
There you are. You got to share your audio, I think.
Okay. Let me do that real quick. Advanced sharing. No, that's not what I want. Computer audio share. Well, it looks like it won't let me do both at the same time, but okay. Well,
how is that a thing with sharing videos? I think it's under, okay.
Art and science of the ancients, particularly of ancient Greece and ancient Rome. They wouldn't particularly be looking back at ancient Egypt or ancient Mesopotamia.
Oh my God. I immediately had a flashback to an 8 o'clock in the morning history class from undergrad. Like it was a history of Germany class that I was taking as a German minor. And yeah, I'm
So-
not okay. Yeah.
So yes, you can slow the video down if I am talking too fast for you. Just know that I'm going to sound drunk. And like I really, really want to be your friend while we're talking.
To be honest, you kind of reminded me a little bit of like Bob Ross, like so happy, just slow, good radio voice. That's good. Anyway,
yeah.
guys, we hope you're staying warm
Yes.
during the snowmageddon in Tennessee. We hope you probably have cabin fever worse than us. What, baby? I'm literally trying to finish this video. Do you want to say hi? You can say hi to my students. The camera's not on. You can say hi.
Who's the students?
What? My students in my class.
Do you want us to name all 67
No.
of them?
This is a video. What? This is a video that we're recording that we're going to send to the students that are in this class.
I thought the students were in there.
No, we would never do that. Why? What were you going to do if you thought it was?
I would just say, can I say hi to them?
So say hi to them.
But they're not here.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
but
see this movie.
they'll hear it when they watch it.
No, thank
Do you
you.
want to tell them your joke? No? It's okay. I'm not trying to make you perform.
He's like, I need instant gratification.
Oh, all right. Well, you're getting it from the book? All right, this should be good. Wait, is this the good one or is this the bad one?
Oh boy.
Okay, that's fine.
Why did the herbivore chew up the factory?
I don't
Why did
know.
the herbivore chew up the factory?
Because it was a peanut eater.
There you go.
Nice.
What do you call a dinosaur that knows lots of words?
What do you
I-
call a dinosaur that knows lots of words?
I don't know.
A theosaurus.
Ah,
Thesaurus. Thesaurus. That's a hard word. Yeah. You
I
read it
got
really
it. I
beautifully
understood
though.
what you
Yeah.
meant.
This one is this the one about the T-Rexes? I didn't spoil it. I'm asking. Okay, fine. All right.
What is something T-Rexes had that no other animal ever had?
I don't know.
Baby T-Rexes. Wait, there's one more.
Okay, these are all going to be on extra credit questions, I feel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one.
What is a dinosaur's least favorite reindeer?
What is a dinosaur's least favorite reindeer?
I don't know.
Comet.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh no.
Well, on that note, I'm gonna leave while the audience is good.
Yeah.
I also
We'll be
did
here
make
all
nachos
night.
for
Try
my
the
kids.
veal. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be here all night. Sure, talk to you later.
All right, everybody. Stay safe, stay warm. We'll see you on the other side of all this, whenever that may be. Did you have anything
I
you
have
wanted
nothing
to
to
add?
add.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.